Hi everyone, myself Dr. Lakshmi Prasad, working as a professor in CSE in Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, Hyderabad. In this video, I'm going to discuss about the outcome-based education. So, the very first thing is that what is an OBE? So, OBE stands for outcome-based education. So, OBE is a student-centric teaching and learning methodology in which the course delivery, assessment are planned to achieve the stated objects and outcomes. So it focuses on the student performance, that is outcome at different levels. Okay, so OBE stands for outcome based education, and this OBE is a student centric teaching and learning methodology. So in which the course delivery and then assessment are going to be planned to achieve the stated objects and outcomes, and it focuses on the student performance, so that is the outcomes at different levels. And what is NBA, National Board of Accreditation? So gives accreditation for higher education institutions in India. And NBA was established by IARE in 1994, and NBA has full membership in Washington Accord since 2011. So the higher education institutions are going to be classified into two types. So tier 1, so all IITs, NITs and central universities and state universities and autonomous institutions should be there. And in tier 2, all affiliated colleges of universities should be there. Okay, so National Board of Accreditation gives the accreditation for higher education institutions, and the NBA is going to be established by IARE in 1994, and then which has a full membership in Washington Accord. The higher education institutions classification should be of two types, so tier 1 and tier 2. So all the IITs, NITs, central universities, and then state universities and autonomous institutions. So all the affiliated colleges of university should also come under tier 2. And Bloom's taxonomy is that, so this should be a global language for education, and it is going to be frequently used by teachers in writing the course outcomes. And here is a ready-made structure and list of action. So here, so these are the different types of Bloom's taxonomy levels. So level 1, remember, understand, apply, analyze, evaluate, and then create. So this should be the global language for education. So it is going to be frequently used by teachers in writing the course outcome, and the ready-made structure and list of action will be this. So remember means that, so recognizing and recalling the facts, and understanding means understanding what the fact means, and apply means apply the facts, rules, concepts and ideas, and analyze means breaking down the information in component parts, and evaluate means that, so justify the value of information or ideas, and create means that combining the parts to make a new whole. So these are the different levels of this. So Bloom's levels, so here lower cognitive levels and higher cognitive levels. So in lower cognitive levels, so all the remember, understand and apply will come, and higher cognitive levels will be analyze, evaluate and then create. So remember means that, so just know what I said, recognizing or recalling facts, and understand means that understanding what the fact means, and apply means applying the facts, rules, concepts and then ideas. And higher cognitive levels means that, so break down the information into component parts, and evaluate means that judging the value of information and ideas, and create means combine the parts to make a new whole. So these are the various Bloom's levels. So a list of action verbs. So remember. So the action verbs will be choose, define, find, how, label, list, match, name, omit, recall, and relate. And some other thing will be so select, show, spell, tell, what, when, where, who, which, and then why. So all these action verbs should comes under the remember. And what action verbs should comes under understand means that so classify, compare, contrast, demonstrate, explain, extend, illustrate, infer, interpret, outline, relate, rephrase, show, summarize, and then translate. And apply means so under apply the action verbs will be so apply, so build, choose, construct, develop, experiment with, identify, interview, make use of, model, organize, plan, select, solve, and then utilize. So when it comes to analyze, the action verbs will be analyze and then assume, categorize, summarize, compare, conclusion, contrast, discover, deceit, and distinguish and divide. So then examine, function, influence, list, motive, relationship, simplify, survey, take part, test, and then think. And when it comes to evaluate, the action verbs will be agree, appraise, assess, award, judge, interpret, influence, importance, choose, justify, compare, mark, and then conclude, measure. So criteria, opinion, like this. So all these are the action verbs that comes under evaluate. And create means that some of the action verbs will be adapt to and then build, change, choose, combine, compile, compose, contrast, create, delete, design, happen, imagine, improve, invent, make up, maximize, minimize, modify, originate, plan, predict. So these are all other action verbs. So like this, for every Bloom's level, there should be corresponding action verbs. So based on that, we are going to be selected. So what is the importance of OBE here? So OBE is a process that involves the restructuring of curriculum, assessment, and reporting the practices in education to reflect the achievement of higher order learning and mastery rather than the accumulation of course grades. So the institution can bring the changes to curriculum so by dynamically adapting to the requirements of different stakeholders, so like students, parents, industry, nominee, and then recruiters. So next one, OB is all about outcomes and then feedback. So OBE means that OBE is the process that involves the restructuring of curriculum, assessment, reporting practices. So in education and to reflect the achievement of higher order learning and mastery rather than the accumulation of course credits. So the institution can bring the curriculum so by dynamically changing, dynamically adapting to the requirements so of the different stakeholders. And this OB is all about the outcomes and then feedback. So when it comes to the OB current scenario, so why this one is going to be used? So for this, so mainly this one is going to be used for national transformation agenda and then MQA requirements and for in order to achieve this continuous quality improvement and in order to know what is the difference between this OB and traditional education and then polytechnic transformation plan and the current scenarios and issues. So like this we are going to be make use of this OB in different agendas. So a national transformation agenda, so where we can able to model this one by make use of ETP model and in order to achieve this MQA requirements, So the OBE must be compulsory there, and in order to improve this continuous quality improvement, so innovative assessment and evaluation is required. And the OBE traditional and difference we want to know, then the graduates not completely prepared for the workforce. And in order to increase the graduate employability, and if any mismatch in supply and demand of graduate for the current scenarios, the OBS plays a vital role. So, what are the different levels of outcomes from OBE? So, program educational outcome objectives, program outcomes, and program specific outcomes, and then course outcomes. So, there are different levels of outcomes. So, first one is program educational objectives, and program outcomes, and program specific outcomes, and course. So, the benefits of OBE. So, OBE means that we're going to have for the faculty, so where the faculty can able to create an innovative teaching and less pressure, and they can able to learn individual thinking and vision. So the benefits of OBE for the faculty, where we can able to create innovative teaching and less pressure, and where we can able to take where we can able to learn individual thinking and vision. So this should be the overall OBE framework. So if you look at this, so initially we have to take the inputs from the parents, students, industry and professional organizations, inputs and feedback that should be sent to the vision to mission of the institution, and then the student program, and then the course. So the course program and institution takes the input from this, the feedback of the parents, students, and then where the outcomes like vision and mission can be changed, and then program educational objectives can be considered, and the student outcomes where we're going to consider the performance indicators, and curriculum mapping is to be used to change the code, and then course learning outcomes is to be done. So that this course learning outcomes is going to be subject to the course planning and delivery, where the syllabus, teaching method, learning activities, and assessment tasks. Okay. So here the course planning and delivery. So where the syllabus, teaching methods, and the learning activities and assessments are going to be considered, that should be sent to the course assessment. And here the then this the course assessment is going to map with the program assessment, and then individual institutional assessment, and these can able to send the improvements again back to their uh, outcomes of the institution program and then course. So the outcome educational steps. First one is that we have to identify the PUOs and POs, and second one we have to be mapped to the national qualification framework, and third one where we can able to link the institution vision and mission, and we can able to create the subject CO, and then we have to identify the teaching and learning activities, and then next we are going to match the teaching and learning activities and assessments, and we're going able to measure the achievements of POs and PEOs, and eighth one we're going able to give feedback to QI. So the outcome-based education means that we're going able to identify the PEOs and POs, and then we can able to map the national qualification framework, and third one we can able to link the institution vision mission, and fourth one we can able to create the subject CO, and fifth one we can able to identify the teaching and learning activities, and sixth one we're going to match the teaching and learning activities to assessments, and seven we're going to able to measure the achievements of POs and POs, and eighth one we're going to able to give the feedback of QI. So this should be the overall OB process, which should be in circular fashion. So first of all, we have to be plan this. What should be the mission, program educational outcomes, and program learning outcomes, and course learning outcomes. What we can able to call CPOs. So these four things initially have to be planned first, And then second, we have to be do this course syllabus, pedagogies, learning process, and then assessment. And once this one is completed, then we have to check what should be the course, and then program, and then university assessment. Then after that, we have to be act on these learning outcomes, learning activities, and then learning assessment. This should be the fourth one. So this OB still go on continues in this subtype fashion. So if anything is need to be changed, it again have to be changed in the CLOs, POs, and PLOs as well. And then next one have to be again change the curriculums of this syllabus, pedagogies, learning process, and assessment. So, what are the characteristics of this OBE curriculum? So, it has a program aim, and then program learning outcomes, and course learning outcomes, and performance indicators. So, it is the objective and outcome driven, so where every stated objective and outcome can be assessed and evaluated. And it is going to be centered around the needs of the students and then stakeholders. So every learning outcome is intentional, and therefore the outcome must be assessed using suitable performance indicators. Okay. So the characteristics of OB curriculum means that so it has a program aims, program learning outcomes, and course learning outcomes and performance indicators. So it has an objective and outcome driven. So where every stated objective and outcomes can be assessed and evaluated. And it is centered around the needs of the students and then stakeholders. And then next, every learning outcome is intentional, so where the outcome must be assessed using performance indicators. So next one is purpose of OBE. So the main purpose of OBE is that we are able to measure and map the COP, OP1, PSOs. And what is the CO means that so course outcome. So the knowledge and skill acquired via course and curriculum, and program outcomes (POs) means that so where they should be expertized and developed after the completion of the program, and program educational outcome objectives. So which is going to be objectives after the completion of the course program, and program specific outcome means we expertise the graduates of the certain program. And what is COPO mapping? So it should be able to create the link between the course outcomes and then program outcomes. So for the each lesson assessment is going to be done is called COPO mapping. So mainly this one is going to be useful in to encourage and apply the outcome-based education. So in schools and colleges for attaining the futuristic approach towards the education along with the improve learning outcomes. Okay, so course outcome means so it should be knowledge and skill that is going to be required via the curriculum, and program outcome means the expertise developed after the completion of the program, and program educational objectives means that where the broader objectives after the completion of the program, and expertise of the graduates of the certain program. So what is COPO mapping? So it is going to be create the link between the COs and POs, and for each lesson and assessment is going to be mapped. So it is also going to be helps to encourage and apply the outcome-based education in the schools and colleges for attaining the heuristic approach towards education along with the improved learning outcomes. So OBE address the following questions. So, what do you want the students to have or able to do? Then, how can able to best help the students to achieve it? Then, how will you know what will have to be achieved? Then, how do you close the loop? And it is also going to address the following questions. So, who are the stakeholders, and what services do you provide? And do constituencies understand your objectives? And what services, facilities, and policies must be present, then how they are going to measure, our results and how we're going to be use these results for CQI, and are we achieving our objectives and improving the constituencies for satisfying. So these are the questions that may be addressed over the outcome-based education. So so what do you want the students to have are able to do? Then how can best help the students to achieve it? Then how will you know what we have achieved and how do you close the loop? And then some other questions what is going to be arised is that, so who are the stakeholders and what services do we provide, and do constituencies understand our objectives, and what services, facilities and policies is present, and then how do we are going to measure our results, and how are we going to measure the results for CQI, and are we achieving our objectives and improving, and then our constitutions are going to be satisfied. And the department vision means that, so getting the autonomous status within 2 years, and the continuous improvement in CO, PO, and PO attainment, and then we can able to incubate and develop at least three potential ideas to produce the stage for AR and spin off the startups, and then have to be improving all the quality faculty qualification to PhD, and then establishment of research center in the area of power electronics and drives, and 100% pass percentage and 100% placement. Okay, the department vision means that we are going to be getting our autonomous status within the 2 years, and the continuous improvement in COP1 POs, and improving all the quality qualification and establish the center of research in the area of power electronics and drives, and then 100% pass percentage and 100% placement. PO means that program educational objectives, so that is going to be mapped between this institution and department. So whenever going to be advanced knowledge is going to be used in interview like this, so how this intellectual capacity and problem solving thinking, and then professional skills with respect to the institution, and then engage in research, critical thinking, and creativity. Like this, the mapping is going to be done between the program educational objectives. So the program outcomes means that expected to know and able to perform and attain by the time of graduation, like the skills, knowledge, and behavior, and the outcomes from A to K. So here these are the predefined outcomes. So ability to acquire and apply the fundamental principles of science and now engineering, and the capability to communicate effectively, and then the acquisition of technical competence in specialized areas of engineering discipline, and ability to identify, formulate, and model the problems, and going to find the engineering solutions based on the system approach. And next one, the ability to conduct the research in the fields of engineering and understand the importance of sustainability and cost effectiveness in design and development of engineering solutions. And understand the commitment to professional and ethical responsibilities. So here you can able to take ability to work effectively as an individual and as a member and leader in the team, and ability to be a multi-skilled engineer with with good technical knowledge, management, leadership, and entrepreneurial skills. So the awareness of social, culture, global environment responsibility as an engineer, and the capability and enthusiasm for self-improvement through the continuous process, professional development, and lifelong learning. So these are the predefined by program outcomes, and the learning outcomes are going to be expected from a certain subject, and they can be assessed and evaluated through various measurement tools here. So if I'm going to consider an example of Sri Shakti Institute of Engineering Technology of the Department of Electronics, so like this, we're going to be identify the courses that is going to be done in each and every semester and every year, and mapping is going to be done. So like this, each and every course should be related, and what should be the prerequisites of the each and every subject will have to be identified. So let us consider one single subject like microprocessor and controller. So for this, I'm going to define the COs. So for the three COs, I'm going to map with corresponding POs here. Okay. So like this, we're going to identify, and then uh, we're going to map the between the CO, each CO with the corresponding POs, and mission components like intellectual capacity and critical thinking, creativity, and problem solving are all going to be mapped with the POs. And the assessment of achieving CO, POs, and POs. So for this, the overview on assignment will be like this. So initially we're going to have the course running objectives. So that should be nothing but the course objective that should be sent to the program objectives, and that should be sent to the program execution outcomes. And this one is going to be defined by the department and college vision mission. So again, we're going to take the feedback from the alumni, faculty members, academic peers, professional body members, and industrials. So from this feedback, we're going to be define this program educational outcomes. So once the outcome is assessed, then again we are going to be perform the data analysis. Again, we are going to be redefine these POs. So how the assessment of POs can be done? So what are the methods we are going to have this? So initially we are going to have two types of methods, like direct method and indirect method. In order to achieve the POs, we are able to conduct the alumni survey and employee survey. Suppose if I want to done the direct one, then I have to make use of PO mapping. And next one is individual course assessment. So how the individual course assessment is to be done. So that one is also done through direct and then indirect method. So direct and indirect method. So indirect method are going to use the theory course assessment and practical course assessment. So whereas in the indirect method, I'm going to use course and survey and then faculty survey. And for this third one, the assessment of attainment of POs. So here also two methods, direct one and indirect one. So indirect we are going to be done through CO mapping, whereas in indirect method that should be exit sign. Okay, so like this we're going to be have different types of methods for the assessment of achievements of POs, and then attainment of POs. Okay, so for this PO, so indirect method will be alumni survey and employee survey, and for direct method is that PO and PO mapping. And individual course assessment, so direct method is theory course assessment and practical course assessment. And indirect method, it should be course and survey and faculty survey. And for this assessment of attainment of POs, so direct and indirect. So direct is that CO mapping, and indirect is that exit survey. Then next one, so outcome based education. So for this, so the course outcome and then program outcome and PO attainment. So for this course outcome, so we're going to have direct, so theory and practical, and for indirect course and survey and faculty survey. Okay, for direct one, so we're going to be have theory course and practical course, and indirect it should be course and survey and faculty survey. Similarly, when it comes to the program outcomes, so the direct thing is that attainment of CO and indirect is exit survey. And PO attainment, so from the PO attainment and for indirect one it should be alumni and then employee survey. CO attainment, so the CO attainment means that so assessment of course outcomes, so that means direct method and indirect method. So direct method means so theory course assessment and practical course assessment, and indirect method is that course and survey and faculty survey. Suppose if I'm going to consider PT1, so what is the CO1, 2, and then 3? For PT2, CO2 and CO3, and PT3, this. So how the assessment is to be done? So assessment and then assignment and model exam and then university exam. So totally I'm going to get this. So once the course is completed, so at the end of every course, so the students are going to be asked to complete the course and survey to indirectly assess their confidence in attaining each of the course outcomes. So for the assessment method, I'm going to use course and survey, and assessment period should be every semester after the completion of the course, and assessed by the students who complete the course, and the assessment tool will be the questionnaire. Similarly, for the faculty survey, so I'm going to have, so this one also going to be done after the each and every course completion and should be assessed by the course instructor, and the tool will be the questionnaire. For example, if I'm going to construct a course, so how the course attainment is to be done. So I'm going to construct the COs, and grading scale is going to be done, and the distribution is to be done between this each and every course outcomes. And so the target is should be more than 75% must be matched, must be achieved 70%. And PO and CO scale means that, so 1 means low, 2 means moderate, and 3 means strongly related. So the course outcome means that, so how much a percentage is going to be achieved for each CO. Whether we have to achieve each and every CO or not, we can able to identify. So these are the predefined program outcomes. So that means ability to apply mathematics, science, and engineer, ability to design, conduct experiments, ability to design component and process to meet the designs, and ability to function multidisciplinary terms, ability to identify, formulate, and solve problems. So like this, we are going to have predefined POs, and all the POs. So how this one is going to be attained by making use of two methods like direct method and indirect method. So direct method means that from the CUPU attainment, and indirect means from through exist survey. So well, let us consider these microprocessor microcontrollers where we are going to have the three outcomes. So for these three outcomes, we have to map between the POs and through exit survey. So this one is to be done for every year, and then I'm going to assess by the outgoing students, and assessment tool should be the questionnaire. Okay, so the outcome assessment of POs should be done through the direct method and indirect method. So direct method means from the CO attainment using COPO mapping, and indirect method means exit survey. So what are the COs you have to identify that should be going to match with all the POs, and exit survey should be done through every year for the outgoing students, and then that the questionnaire will be the assessment. So then we're going to how we're going to assess the program educational outcomes. So this program educational outcomes is going to be assessed by direct method and indirect method. So that means PEO and PEO mapping, whereas indirect means alumni and then employer survey. So let us consider this. So what are the POs we're going to have initially? So those POs are going to be mapped with program educational outcomes, and the mapping is to be done from each PO with the PO as well as PO 2, 3, and then 4. So the indirect methods for attaining the program educational outcomes will be, so alumni survey and then employer survey. So alumni survey means every year assessment period both are same and assessed by the alumni, whereas employer survey is going to assess by the employer, and the tool should be the same questionnaire. and the rubrics will be, so whether it is in level 2, 3 and then 4 have to be identified. And when it comes to the program outcomes, so how this one is going to be attained. So just now as I said, so the course outcomes are going to be attained through direct and indirect. So that means theory and practical course we are going to have, and for indirect it should be course and survey and then faculty survey. And for this program outcome, so similarly we are going to have direct and indirect. So that means COPO mapping, and that means exit survey. And PU attainment means that direct and indirect, that should be PU attainment, and that means alumni and employee survey. So like this, we're going to have different types of methods and technologies we're going to have for attending the CO, POs, and then POs. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.